Greetings, Namaste, welcome. Welcome to the Yin class tonight. This is a winter Yin class focusing on the water element. The water element is associated with the winter, and it's also the kidney and urinary bladder meridian lines. So we're also looking at the Sacral Chakra because the winter water element is associated with the Sacral Chakra, which is just below the belly button, and the colour is orange. And it's associated with our sexual energy, our centre of emotions, linked to pleasure, sensuality, and letting go. Yes, we have to let go of things that are not relevant in this moment and embracing change. So if the sacral chakra is imbalanced, that can create a lot of fear. And when we balance, we have courage and willpower. And it also helps with the nervous system, deep rest. As we're entering the winter, well, we're in winter now in the UK, and it's a deep time of rest, going deep within, and a bit like the animals that hibernate, preparing ourselves for the cold months, renewing, deep restorative resting, ready for when we come alive again in the springtime. So that's what we're doing tonight. Now the kidney comes from the big toe on the inside of the foot. So it comes up the inside of the legs and comes up the body and ends here at the shoulders. That's the kidney meridian line. And the urinary bladder comes from the little toe along the outside of the foot. It comes up the back of the legs and it kind of zigzags up the back, comes up over the shoulders, up over the neck, up over the head, and ends at the eyes. So that's the urinary bladder. And obviously the urinary bladder is water. So we're looking at balancing those meridian lines, connecting with winter and the water element. So we'll be doing a lot of work on our back line and our inner groin, our inner legs, working those meridian lines to balance and cleanse and detox. Yin yoga. So yin yoga is very gentle, it's very calming. We hold the pose so we can get deep into those fascia tissues within the muscles. Usually when we have pain in our body, we think it's coming from the muscles, but a lot of the time it's deeply rooted within the fascia tissue, deep inside the muscles. So let's begin. So we're going to start with grounding. So if you're sitting on your block or a chair, make sure your legs are, both feet are on the floor. Make sure you can see me okay. I'm just going to put that down a little bit because you really do need to see. I'll be lying on the floor a lot. So sitting on your block, sitting on top of the block with your sitting bones, and then gently push yourself forward. Let's ground into the present moment, letting go of everything, letting go of what's gone on in the day, the energy that you've received or the energy that's kind of drained you, what people have said. Let's let go and come into this stillness and quietness and presence of mindfulness. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, lengthen the spine. Lengthen the back of the neck. And lightly just let the chin gently drop towards the chest, not all the way down. We want that neck to be in line with the spine. Inhale into your root chakra at the base of your spine. And as you inhale, imagine lengthening and the roots from the base going down into the earth, connecting to the earth's energies. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale, sigh out and relax the shoulders down. And away from the ears. Breathing into the abdomen as far as you can. Sending the breath down the legs into the feet. Taking a breath into the abdomen. Feel the abdomen expand. Exhale. We're just exhaling out of the mouth now, really letting go. Inhale into the heart center through the nose. Exhale it out of the mouth. Inhale into in through the nose, just inhaling, watching the chest rise and the belly rise. Exhale. Inhale, lifting up the crown of the head up to the sky. And on the exhale, deeply relaxing the face. Relaxing the jaw. The hands are resting on the knees, on the lap. Chin mudra, first finger and thumb, a gesture of consciousness. And we're placing the palms down for grounding into the present moment, letting go of everything, all thoughts, emotions. I let go of what no longer serves me. I let go of negativity. I cleanse the energy around me. As I move into a period of reflection, resting, rejuvenating, ready for the new spring, as we rest in this winter season. The water flows through me and cleanses my body. Feeling the breath rising and falling. Feeling the aliveness of the inner body. Deeply listening. Allowing this moment to be as it is. Feeling the air passing through. temperature on the skin, the touch of the clothes on the skin. So we'll be doing gentle ujjayi breath, which is the ocean sound breath. As though we're steaming up a mirror. It's just a very gentle ujjayi breath tonight, as we hold the yin poses, working with our kidney and urinary bladder meridian lines. So we're working with the Sacral Chakra, which is our centre of creativity, which is just below the navel. The colour is orange. And it's our centre of creativity, our emotions. And we can experience a lot of fear, anxiety when it's imbalanced. And when it's balanced, we have more courageous, more willpower. And the Sacral Chakra is associated with the water element. So we're working with the Sacral Chakra tonight. So we're going to start with Uddiyana Bandha, one of the bandhas, which is cleansing all around our abdomen and really working that Sacral Chakra. So we're going to start with that tonight. And we're going to do it sitting down. So we take a long, deep ujjayi breath in through the nose. At the end of the inhale, we pull in our belly, just pull that belly back towards the spine, hold it without exhaling. Let the chin gently drop. Squeeze our genitals, our buttocks together, holding in that belly, squeeze that belly in. Then we release the belly and inhale. So take a long, deep exhale. Pull in the belly, hold it. Bring that belly back towards the spine. Hold the breath. Hold the lock in the abdomen. Release and inhale. Taking a long exhale. Pull in the belly. Lock it in. Lock the Uddiyana Bandha. Abdominal lock. Hold it. Hold the breath. Release the lock and inhale. Taking a long exhale. Pull in the belly, pull in the abdomen towards the spine. Lock that belly in. Hold the breath. Release. Inhale. We'll do one more. Exhale. Pull the belly in, lock it in. Release and inhale. So we started just to work with our Sacral Chakra, abdominal lock, Uddiyana Bandha. And we'll do a couple of more of those at the end. So let's begin our class tonight. We're going to start just warming up the neck, right ear to right shoulder, bringing the neck down and around, left ear to left shoulder, up and round the back. So it's nice, slow circles with the neck, warming up the neck, and the other way. And we're going to start with Dragonfly. So for Dragonfly, you might want to use just a little cushion to sit on the end of. just to place your buttocks just on the end of the cushion, and then we take our legs wide. Now, if you need, you can always place a block underneath your knees, and then we begin to move ourselves forward. Now just come down as far as you can. The spine is rounded, and we gently curl our spine round and come forward. Now you can, if you want to put cushions under your knees, and then you can come forward and rest on a block like this, or if stand the block up if that's better, or just curling yourself forward. So I'm going to put the blocks under my knees, especially if you have sore knees. So finding what's good for you, and we're going to curl down, we're going to hold it, doing gentle, very gentle ujjayi, sound of the ocean. And there is a short video on my YouTube channel describing ujjayi breath. So we're gently moving forward. You can either use your block. The spine is curved. Inhale. So we just go to where we find the edge that we know we can't go any further or it would hurt. But we also don't want to be too far out that we can't feel the stretch in the inner groin, which is working our kidney meridian. Curling down, finding our edge, and now we hold in stillness. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, gentle ujjayi, in and out of the nose if you can. On the exhale, relax the face, relax the jaw, relax the forehead. Inhaling into the heart, gentle ujjayi breath. Exhale, relax the shoulders, the arms. Inhale. Exhale, relax in the hands. Inhale into the abdomen. Exhale, relaxing into the pores. Feeling the stretch on the inner thighs, our kidney meridian lines. Deeply working the fascia tissue within the inner thighs. Also, we're working the urinary bladder on the spine. Inhale. Exhale into where you feel the stretch in the inner groin, in the inner thigh. Inhale. As you exhale, send the breath down where you feel the stretch into the legs. This time, inhale into the spine.
And sending the breath down the spine on the exhale, our urinary bladder lines. And you might feel as you're here in stillness, you might feel that you just naturally deepen more into the pause, into the dragonfly. Inhale, gentle ujjayi. Exhale, deeply let go. One more breath. And exhale, pulling in the belly, working that sacral chakra on the exhale. And release. And as we inhale, we gently come back up. Just feeling that stretch on the inner groin and the spine, working the kidney and the urinary bladder. I trust in the wisdom I brought it down, of slowing down. Yes, we slow down now. So now we're going to move into the butterfly, because we are working this inner thighs, the inner groin tonight with the kidney meridian. So still with your buttocks on the end of the pillow, bringing your feet together. And then you can either stay like this, you'll still get a stretch in that inner groin, inner legs, or for a deeper stretch, we can begin to move forward. You can just keeping the spine rounded. So you might just move forward like this, tucking the chin, or you might want to get your block and rest your hands on the block, either long ways or short ways. Whatever is good for you. You might want to put your legs further, whatever feels good, either the feet further away or closer. The closer, obviously, we're going to get a deeper stretch, but what is good for you? You want to be feeling the working on the inner thighs, the inner legs. So we don't want to be doing not enough that we don't feel that. So finding your edge now. And settling in. You might just want to hold your toes, curling the spine. The spine is curved, the chin is tucked. Now you've found your edge. Let's begin. Inhale into the heart. Gentle ujjayi breath. On the exhale, relax the face. Relax the jaw. Relax the cheeks, the eyes. Relax the forehead. Inhale, bring the breath up the spine. Feel the spine lengthen. Exhale, relaxing, grounding, rooting into the source of who we are. And this is also working the urinary bladder along the back of the spine. Inhale now into the inner groin, into the inner thighs, where you're feeling the gentle stretch. Exhale, deeply relax. Inhale, gentle ujjayi. Exhale, sending the breath down the legs, into the feet. Breathing into the shoulders. And on the exhale, making sure we're not scrunching up our shoulders. The shoulders are relaxed. Breathing into the hands. Just listening to the breath. And if a thought comes in about something that happened today, something that somebody said that hurt your feelings, just allow it to be there as it is, in acceptance to what is. We can't change what people say or do, or a situation, but we can change how we respond, how we react. Breathing into the belly now, into our sacral chakra. And we exhale, pulling the belly back towards the spine, locking it in. Hold the breath. Release and inhale. One more breath. Inhale, gently curling the spine, pushing yourself back up. Well done. We're going to do the windshield wipers here just to release the spine and the legs. So bringing our legs out, feet on the floor, we go left to right. Well done. Now we can bring our legs out, point the toes gently out the spine, look up, releasing that spine. Exhale, chin to chest, flex the feet. Inhale, point the toes, lift up the chest. Exhale, flex the feet, chin to chest. Well done. So now we're going to move into the caterpillar. So you can still use your cushion to sit on the end of it. And what we do with the caterpillar is similar to the hatha pose, the forward fold, seated, forward fold. But in hatha, we kind of inhale in and keeping the spine straight. But with the caterpillar, we gently round in the spine, gently coming down a little bit by a little bit. And we're just going to hold that here. Now, if you need to use a block just to rest your head on, that's okay. Or a bolster or a rolled up blanket, or you can put your block lengthways, tallways, and just rest your chin on it. Whatever is good for you. You don't need to use any blocks, you can just curl down. Or you can use a blanket or a bolster to put over the top of your thighs and rest on the blanket. So find any position. Curling the spine. The hands are resting at the side of the legs. The chin is lightly tucked. You should be feeling a stretch on the backs of the legs. This is our urinary bladder meridian line. And also on the spine, coming up the spine. So let's begin. Inhale. Lengthen in the spine, gentle Ujjayi breath. On the exhale, deeply relax down into the caterpillar. Inhale. Exhale, relax the jaw, relax the face, relax the forehead. Inhale into the heart center. And exhale, deeply relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale, gentle Ujjayi breath. Exhale, relax the spine. And as we breathe in and out, at the edge, we don't want to go too far that it hurts. You might find that as you each time you gently exhale, or at some point you may deepen the stretch, be able to move further down into the caterpillar. But if you feel any pain, then take yourself back out. Now breathing into the backs of the legs, the urinary bladder meridian. Exhale, relax in the legs. Now we're going to work with the sacral here. So on the exhale, we pull the belly in, back towards the spine. After the exhale, on the exhale, we pull the belly in, hold it, hold the breath, and lock it in. And then we release and inhale. So inhale. Exhale, pulling the belly in, pulling the abdomen in, back towards the spine. Lock it in, hold it, hold the breath, release and inhale. Exhale, pull the belly in, lock the abdominal in towards the spine. Hold it, release, inhale. And exhale from the belly, pull the belly in, back towards the spine, lock it in. Release and inhale. Gently inhale, gently with your hands, curling the spine round, coming back up to sitting. Well done. Taking your hands behind you, and we're going to curl that spine the other way, pointing the toes. Inhale, look up, open up the chest, arching the spine the other way. Exhale, chin to chest, flex the feet. Inhale, point the toes, arch the spine, look up. Exhale, flex the feet. Well done. So now we're moving into supported bridge. Okay, so supported bridge, you're going to use your bolster. This is a beautiful restorative pose. You're going to use your bolster. I'm using the cushion. Or you can use your blocks, and we kind of rest over the bolster, bringing the feet together like butterfly, opening up the thighs, bringing the arms up overhead, up out at the sides. And the cushion, the bolster, the blanket, whatever you're using, is supporting the spine. So you bring the cushion, the bolster, just below your sacrum, the base of your spine, and curl it up. And then if you want, if you haven't got a cushion, you could also use your blocks, although it's a little bit harder with the blocks because it's obviously not soft. And then we can lie over the blocks. So we can also do that as well, okay? But it's what feels comfortable for you. Okay, the blocks are a little bit hard, so you might find that a little bit uncomfortable. So we're going to use this rolled up cushion like a bolster. And we're going to lie over it, bringing our feet together, opening up the legs like butterfly. Or if you just want to keep your legs straight, that's okay. And so the spine is kind of arching, a gentle arch over the bolster, the cushion, or the rolled up blanket. But if you want to bring your feet together and open up the legs like butterfly, then we're also getting a stretch in this inner groin for our kidneys. And we're also getting a stretch up that spine and the back of the neck and the head, which is the urinary bladder. So finding what's comfortable for you. Finding the edge so it's not too much. We don't want to feel any pinching or any pain. Just a gentle stretch. And let's begin settling into stillness. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax in the shoulders, relax in the arms. Inhale. Feel in the heart center expand. Exhale, relax the shoulders, the arms and the hands, palms turned up. Inhale, gentle ujjayi. Watching the belly expand on the inhale, and on the exhale, gently pull the belly in, back towards the spine. Gentle abdominal lock, working the sacral chakra. Inhale into the abdomen. The abdomen expand on the sacral chakra, just below the belly button. Beautiful orange. Imagine the orange expanding. And on the exhale, pulling the abdomen in, back towards the spine, doing a abdominal lock. Hold the breath. Lock it in. Release and inhale. Breathing into the inner thighs. Exhale, relax in the legs. Feeling that stretch on the inner thighs, especially if you've got your legs in butterfly. Working the kidney meridian lines and also the urinary bladder up the back of the spine, the back of the head. As you breathe in and out, imagine the orange in the sacral chakra, just below the belly button, spinning and flowing freely like water through the body, balancing our emotions, nourishing our creativity, letting go of fear. Breathing into the feet. Total relaxation, letting go of all negative energies around us. Nurturing our spirit and our soul. Imagine the water flowing freely, as our bodies are mainly made up of water. as we deeply recluse and rest in winter. 3 more deep breaths. When you're ready, just put your hands by your side. Gently bring your knees. If you're in butterfly, bring your knees back together. Lengthen the legs, and with your elbows, gently curl and push yourself back up. Well done. So we're now moving into recline twist. So we're lying down. Inhale, bringing the knees up to center. And on the exhale, taking the knees over to the left, looking over. So taking the knees over to the right, looking over at your left extended arm. Taking a deep breath in, up the spine. Feeling the stretch up the spine. On the exhale, deepening into the mat. Twisting out all the still energy flow within the spine. Rinsing out old water, renewing our energy, nourishing our energy and our spirit. We're not going to hold this as long. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pulling the belly back towards the spine. Lock it in. Abdominal lock, hold it. Release and inhale. Exhale. Bringing the head back to center, knees up to center. We're just going to go on the other side. We're not holding this one as long tonight. We're just replenishing the spine. Inhale, up the spine, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release, let go. Feeling the stretch in the urinary bladder, meridian lines up the spine. Inhale, deep ujjayi inhale into the heart. And on the exhale from the belly, pulling the belly back in towards the spine, abdominal Uddiyana Bandha lock. Hold it. Release and inhale. Working the Sacral Chakra, located just below the belly button, around our abdominal area. And release, bringing the head back to center, stretching out the legs, bringing the arms up overhead, stretching up the spine. And then we're going to roll over into Sphinx. Okay, I love this one. So you can bring your elbows just under your shoulders, hands flat on the mat. Or you can bring your palms together, all 10 toes are on the mat, the front of the legs is on the mat, the abdominal and the pelvic area is on the mat. And then we have this gentle stretch in the spine here, curving the other way. Now, if that's too much, you can always put your head on a block and then bring your arms out to the side. So that we're still getting a gentle tilt in that lower spine. So finding your edge, or if you want to, you can lie over your bolster and do it like that. Resting your chin on the cushion. So we're still getting that gentle stretch, gentle working in the lower spine. Our urinary bladder line, but it's also working. It's mainly working our urinary bladder, but it's also touching on the kidneys. Coming up the front of the body, the front of the belly, up through the abdomen, up to the chest. The chin is lightly tucked so that the neck is in line with the spine. Let's begin. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale into the heart, gentle ujjayi. Exhale from the abdomen. Relax in the face, relax in the jaw. Inhale. Exhale into where you feel that stretch in the lower spine. Inhale. Exhale, unclenching the jaw, unclenching the face, the teeth, relaxing the shoulders down. No tension in the shoulders or the arms or the hands. The body is relaxed. Inhale now in, gentle ujjayi, into the lower spine where you feel the stretch. And exhale from the spine too. Inhale into the toes. Exhale, relax in the toes. Inhale into the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet. The ankles. I allow myself to nurture myself, self-love, and to cleanse myself of all negative energy. Breathing into the heart center. Exhaling from the abdomen. Pulling the abdomen in, locking it in towards the spine. On the exhale, hold the lock, release and inhale. So we're doing the abdominal lock, Uddiyana Bandha, which is also working our Sacral Chakra, which is associated with water and winter. And the Sacral Chakra is our emotions, our creativity, our embracing change and letting go of what no longer serves us. And winter is a change, the seasons change, it's got colder, the trees are bare, out of the trees are bare, the flowers have gone in hiding, animals have gone to hibernate. We may get snow and ice, which is water. So it's a time to rest, restore and replenish and nourish. Inhale into the heart, gentle ujjayi. Exhaling from the sacral chakra, pulling in the belly, locking it in. Hold the lock, hold the breath. Release and inhale into the heart. Now you can either stay like this, or if you want to take it a little deeper, we can come up and just do a couple of breaths here to deepen the stretch. Inhale. Exhale from the abdomen. Gentle ujjayi. Inhale into the heart, lengthening. Exhale from the abdomen. Inhale into the heart, lengthen. Exhale from the abdomen. And we're going to now come back up and back into child's pose. So opening up the knees. You might want to use your bolster here. This is our last pose for tonight. Opening up the knees. So the knees are wide, and we're going to bring our arms out up on our fingertips and just rest on the cushion or the bolster like that. Okay, so it's like a supported child's pose to finish off. Or you can bring your hands by your side. So inhale into the heart. On the exhale, deeply relax the face. If you don't want to use the cushion or the bolster, you can just put your forehead on the mat, which is what I actually prefer. Or you can use your bolster. So finding your edge, finding your position, and let's move into stillness. This is our last pose for tonight. For the water element, winter, the sacral chakra. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale from the abdomen, pull, gently pulling in the abdomen towards the spine on each exhale. Inhale. Exhale to the abdomen, pulling it in towards the spine, locking it in and release. Gentle ujjayi into the heart. And on the exhale, send the breath into the inner top of the inner thighs where you can feel that stretch. Really working the urinary bladder and the kidney meridian lines. Inhale. Exhale into the inner thighs. Pulling the belly in the sacral chakra in on the exhale. Inhale into the heart. Exhale, relax in the face, relax in the shoulders. Inhale into the spine. Exhaling from the abdomen. Inhaling into where you feel the stretch on the inner thighs. Exhale, relaxing the breath into the legs. Asking the question, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this thought, this mind? Just observing the breath, observing our energy and where we feel in this in our body. With a quiet mind, mindfulness, being aware of what comes and goes in our thoughts. Two more deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, let go. Inhale. Exhale. And when you're ready, just very gently pushing yourself up with your hands back up to sitting. Well done. So we're now moving into Shavasana. We've done a lot of work there on our kidney and our urinary bladder. And for those of you on the Mindful Menopause course, during menopause, we need to keep our organs flushed, nourished, and helping to cleanse the kidneys and the urinary bladder to get rid of toxins and cleanse our organs to help our hormones be more balanced. And we need to also working with the deep fascia tissue. During menopause, we get our bones can become thinner. So also the Yin Yoga helps to strengthen the bones and work with the deep fascia tissues, because we can also start to experience pain in the body. So just releasing those deep fascia can help release pain in the body. So let's go into Shavasana to finish off. Feet at the edges of the mat, hands by the side, palms up. Chin to chest, shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale, lengthening the spine, lengthening the back of the neck. Letting go of Ujjayi now, Ujjayi breath, just deep breathing. In and out of the nose. On the exhale, deeply relax the spine down into the earth. Just feeling now your body. Feeling the inner thighs, the back of the legs, the spine, around the back of the head, feeling the effects of the asanas tonight. As we lie here, I want you to imagine that you're lying or you're somewhere where there's snow and ice. But you're inside by the fire with a beautiful orange glow. That's our sacral chakra. As we work through the body scan. So breathing into the toes, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, the heels and the ankles. Big breath into the feet. And on the exhale, deeply relax the feet into beingness. Now taking a breath into the shins and the front and the back of the the shins, the front of the lower legs and the calves at the back of the lower legs. The meaty part connected on them to the earth. So we have the yin, the relaxation, going inwards, mindfulness, the warm fire, and the yang, the cool, the balance of the yin and the yang. Breathing into the upper thighs, into the inner thighs where we've just worked the meridian lines, the kidney. Exhale, deeply relax in the legs, like trees rooted and grounded in the present moment. Breathing into the abdomen, the hips, and the buttocks. And exhale, deeply relaxing abdomen down and the buttocks into the warmth of the fire. Breathing into the abdomen and our sacral chakra. And on the exhale, imagine that orange filling your whole body like the fire. Inhale into the ribs and the upper chest. And exhale. I nourish and give myself self-love. Breathing into the lower spine, taking the breath up into the middle of the spine and the upper spine. Lengthening the back of the neck, and on the exhale, deeply relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. You can feel the warmth of the fire, the orange, as we balance and rest and let go of thoughts, mindfulness, presence, quiet mind, healing. Breathing into the fingers, the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, the thumb. Into the wrists. into the lower arms, the upper arms. Resting both arms into beingness. Breathing into the shoulders. Exhale, relax in the shoulders. Breathing into the back of the head, the top of the head. Both arms and hands are relaxed into beingness. Relaxing the forehead, the jaw, the throat chakra. Resting in the third eye between the eyebrows. Knowing the truth. This is who we truly are. This peaceful, quiet mind, presence. Relaxing the eyebrows, the eyelashes, the eyelids. Breathing in deep behind the eyes. Mind floating on the breath, breath leading the mind to the heart. And just observing now this inner stillness and peace. Imagine the warmth of the fire. Our creativity flowing, the water flowing. When you're ready, or you can stay lying down if you're comfortable. You can stay there. You can do a stretch, or just stay there as I finish off. Rolling onto your right side, or just stay where you are. Coming up into sitting on the edge of the block. Take a couple of deep ujjayi breaths. Inhale into the heart. Lengthening. Exhale from the abdomen, pulling it in and back towards the spine. And each exhale, pull the Sacral Chakra, the abdominal log, in towards the spine. Hold it, pause, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale from the abdomen, pulling it in, locking it in. Relaxing the shoulders. Letting go of ujjayi now. Just sitting in this quiet space. Feeling the effects of the practice. Balanced, heal, healing and balancing. Feeling the inner silence and peace. Letting go. Bringing the palms together to the heart center. Gratitude for breath, for life, for the practice, for the teachings. May the practice not only benefit ourselves, but all beings. May all beings be happy and free. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste. Peace be with you.
Namaste.